Oh, girl, I forgot I had asked for high C. I was finna say. Anywho, what's good, y'all? What is this? Tuesday, Wednesday? Today hump day. Happy hump day to y'all, child. So y'all already know it's Wednesday, and you already know what Wednesdays are. It's to talk about the damn Tuesday night episode of them Jersey women, child. These Jersey women, season 13, episode 3, Boys Will Be Boys. So the episode continues where it left off at, and that was the conversation between the salamander and Messy Melissa. And the salamander talks about how her whole issue with Messy Melissa was the fact that she didn't feel like she was 100% rooting for her and Louie's relationship. So Messy Melissa whole thing is that's not true. When you introduce them to your family, you introduced him to my family, referring to, her mom, her sister, I believe, and things like that. She said, I always rooted for him. I wanted that for you. I wanted you to be happy, so on and so forth. What I will say is, I do feel like Joe, as well as Melissa, does want to see Teresa genuinely happy. I do feel that way. I don't feel like they want her to be old and miserable by herself. I don't think they want her to become a cat lady or a plant lady or something of that sort, because she live in a big ass house. It's gonna look like Safari Emporium around there if she ever turn in anything like that. Pet Smart, Petco, so on and so forth. So I don't think they want that for her. I don't. But at the same time, I do feel where Teresa is coming from. It's funny because people love to call out the shenanigans and Teresa, but it's like they just forget about all of the messiness that comes with Joe and Melissa. And this the thing. I ain't even why I don't listen. I just picked up Jersey Wives back. I didn't watch it since season 1. Season 1 and 2, I think I watched. I think. I think it was season 1 and 2. It's probably just season 1. I don't remember none, really, of everything that went on. But I know enough backstory from what I've seen in other reviews and from what I've read, you know what I mean, in the tabloids and so on and so forth. I know enough to know ain't none of them innocent. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, Teresa is tied and through at times, but be clear, so is Joe and Melissa. None of their hands are clean around here. Moving on. Because I'm sick of it. Then the salamander gonna set up and give her this backhanded invite to be a damn bridesmaid. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not mad at Messy Melissa for saying, nah, I'm good. I mean, I appreciate the invite. That's enough for me. I thank you, but I'm good. I don't need to be a part of your tying through late ass second wedding. I don't need to be a part of a hoe because I'm still married to my same damn husband. I ain't getting married for the second time, right? I mean, she ain't say all that, but that would have been my reason as for why I would have said no. Like, girl, no, I agree with Melissa. Like, don't act like you're doing me a favor by trying to invite me to be in your tight ass. Let the record show. I was on Melissa's side for turning it down. Moving on. So D-Lo and Big Paulie at home, and Big Frank is coming over so that he could do his photo shoot. So Big Paulie, so Big Paulie calls Big Frank Mr. Potato Head, and Big Frank calls Big Paulie Buzz Lightyear. I'm dead. Listen, I'm dead because I totally see it in both of them. That's the funny part about it. I totally see it in both of them. I think for real, I will be here for seeing Big Paulie and Big Frank to be cool. I'm just gonna need for Big Frank to just let it go. Like, I feel like I don't see, because even when it came down to him feeling as though Big Paulie disrespected him in a way, when Big Paulie made reference to, well, if you really wanted to get in contact with me, you could have just talked to me. You didn't have to go through D-Lo to talk to me. Basically, what he was saying is you that you didn't have to put it on a woman to do that job. And it he didn't he it, he felt the way about the comment because it was written all over his face. That juiced up ass face, child. He turned red as a cherry. So he definitely felt the way, but he didn't allow it to make him feel away. You know what I mean? I appreciate that. And see, I understand what Big Paulie is saying. It's like, listen, of course the dynamics is going to change. This is my woman now. So no, I'm not going to appreciate you just coming by whenever you want to. I'm not appreciating you just walking in. Neither is D-Lo. Like, she has a boyfriend now. You need to have enough common courtesy, decency, and respect to knock or call before you come. Ring the doorbell. Cause I don't, I don't want to give Big Frank much because I like Big Frank. You know what I'm saying? I like Big Paulie too, and y'all know I live for D-Lo. She my favorite. So I want everybody to get along around here. Anywho, Big Frank inviting Big Paulie to guys' night. I'ma take it that he didn't show up because he said he had to work. But listen, coin comes first, and I'm just gonna take Big Paulie word for it. Moving on. So Marge meets up with messy Melissa and malnourished, emaciated Jackie. I don't like. Listen, when I started reviewing last season, I started kind of sort of liking Jackie, but I started seeing Jackie for who she was way early, and she tied and through. And she tied and through now. Go sit over here, basically admitting to looking Danielle up and down, basically judging her by her outfit. And so she was like, yeah, I admitted, I was looking her up and down because her outfit was this and her outfit was that and da 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 da. But she could have called me. She could have called me if she had a problem. Why should she call you? She did what anybody else would have did and just not fucked with you. And that's what it is. She don't fool with you. So she's not gonna call you. She's not gonna invite you to anything. It just is what it is. Like, to me, I kind of feel like this was Jackie's way of trying to be back as a main cast, in my opinion, because what better way to stay on or try to get back your old position than by getting into something new? And I kind of feel like that's what it is with emaciated, malnourished Jackie. Because be clear, your outfit was very much so H&M base, Forever 21 base, J.C. Penney and Macy's base. Like, girl, you acting like you showed up in some French couture that was designed by the best French designer and all of the rest of that. Like, girl, if you bitch, girl, please. Look like you stepped right out of a damn Kohl's magazine, but you want to sit over here and try to judge this woman and base her off of her damn outfit. Like, who does that? At your over. Anyway, that whole scene was basically Jackie trying to get back her position, in my opinion. But we don't want her emaciated ass. Oh, Tad Heifer. Oh, God. I hope Danielle reads you down to the ground at the reunion. I hope she do. Anywho, and then the other part of that was Marge now wanting to talk about Jennifer and how she now feels bad for Jennifer because she feels like all of this is only going on because Jennifer is having problems in her marriage and so and so and so forth. Y'all want to know, that's what kills me the most about y'all, is that y'all will sit over here and run down on somebody, but then want to turn around and say, well, I feel bad because of this and I feel bad because of that and so on and so forth. Like, which one is it? Like, everybody want to say that Jen holds on to stuff and why did she bring up back last season and so and so and so. But again, I say, if she never did it, what will Marge have to talk about? I'm telling y'all, Marge ain't got nothing going on. Okay. So Marge need to thank her old best friend for stabbing her in the back, and she needs to thank Jennifer for bringing this old stuff up because, like, moving on. Rachel and John take their daughter to do a photo shoot. So Rachel opens up about having a miscarriage and wanting more kids because, she has 5 healthy embryos and so on and so forth. And John is like, wait a minute. Like, our daughter is 3, 2 or 3. I think she's 3. And he's just like, we got some time. The eggs ain't going nowhere. We don't need to be in no rush. And listen, look, please don't force another baby on your husband, Rachel, because I like you, Rachel, and you know, don't force no more. Don't listen. I hear you, I get you, but he right. Them eggs ain't going nowhere, child. Let it happen. Let it flow. Let it flow. Let it flow. Let it flow. Da 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 da. Da, yeah. Shout out to Tony. So that's Tony Braxton. Okay. Let it flow. That's off what? The Waiting to Exhale soundtrack. Anywho, so the salamander at home, and she's telling Gia and Louie about her conversation with Messy Melissa. So Julie is upset. Gia is upset by Messy Melissa and Joe, saying that because basically Joe and Melissa went on a podcast and basically said that, you know, her kids, when she went to prison, her kids wouldn't have ate if it wasn't for them. And Gia came back in in her confessionals and says that, listen, the only time we ever remembered being around them, seeing them like that, or doing whatever is when cameras was around. Look, I don't know. I won't dare. It's Joe and Melissa's words against the charm. Could the children be lying? Maybe. But this second daughter, I just don't believe it. I don't believe it. By the reaction of that second daughter, and she really don't look like she's down for the mess, period. And if she's also co-signing that, well, we really ain't see y'all like that until the cameras was here. So don't try to make it seem like y'all was here like that and y'all was here through and so on and so forth. Because that's again, could they be lying to make their mama look good? Absolutely. But for me, I don't know. Y'all drop down in the comments. Y'all let me know who y'all believe. Do y'all believe Joe and Melissa's side of the story, or do y'all believe the churn? Louis being over Joe and Melissa, Louis, you was for real. Look, I get your feelings. I totally understand it. And you know what? I ain't even about to give you too much because the way you handled yourself at the end of this, I think I kind of see what's going on, but I could also see how people could feel like you's a snake too. And Teresa really shouldn't trust you like that because you messy as hell and all of us. But we'll get to it at the end. So Danielle meets with Melissa. So Melissa tells Danielle how emaciated, malnourished Jackie felt. This is how I feel about her. And Danielle feel the same way. I got your back, Dan. So Danielle tells Melissa about her own issues with her brother and her sister-in-law, and she blames the sister-in-law. Listen, Danielle, I get what you're saying, but y'all got two different things going on. I get your point, and I see your side. And you make listen, we're not going to act like a lot of times the wife, sister-in-law, don't be the causing of it staying friction between the family versus it just getting fixed. Let's not sit here and act like that don't happen because it does. But a lot of the times it's honestly not the wife's fault. It's not the wife's issue. So it could be two totally different things. In this instance, do I feel like Melissa plays a part? Yeah, she plays a role. But at the end of the day, if Joe can have all of these balls and nut sacks with and cojones with everybody else, he should be able to have that same with his sister. That's just how I feel. Melissa shouldn't have to be the go-between between you and your sister. You know, again, let the record show. I agree with Melissa. It's not all Melissa's fault. I'm just saying it ain't. Jen and Bill at home with the kids. Jen, listen, you're very spoiled. And what I like about Bill is he's not gonna just tell you what you want to hear per se. He said he answered your question without saying a word. You really don't have no self-reflection upon yourself. That's true because you just want your husband to solely agree with you even when you're wrong. And it's just like, no, I can have your back, but still call you out. I can have your back, but still say, listen, you could have handled things in a better way. I mean, I'm just saying, Jen, I'm just saying. I mean, if it is issues in the marriage, Jen, I could totally see why. And I'm not taking up for him and what he did because I like Jen. But seeing how you react to things and seeing how even in this moment you just refuse to see your part in anything and you just feel like it's just like so Melissa and Joe has her mom and sister because if I keep talking about Jen, I'm gonna run her down, and I don't want to do that because I like her. Melissa and Joe has her mom and sister come around there. So her mama and sister didn't get an invite to the wedding, and then they made that such a big deal. Listen, listen. Melissa and Joe barely got an invitation. I mean, the fact that y'all thought that y'all was getting in is, and then the fact that they feel like, well, they just gotta be there. Whatever relationship your parents may have had with her sister and mama or whatever, that's that. That don't have nothing to do with Teresa and how Teresa may feel about them or whatever. Like, I hate when people feel like, well, mama and daddy was so cool with them and, and I like them and da 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 da. And then it's just supposed to be Teresa's supposed to feel the same way. Look, I don't know why Teresa didn't give them an invite. And if you saying that y'all so close like that, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 well, obviously Teresa must feel differently because they didn't get an invite, and I feel like y'all barely got an invite. So I mean, it's just again, y'all let me know because I just feel like it's their wedding. They got the right to invite who the hell they want there and who the hell they don't want there. That's how I feel. While they may feel that way, it's her wedding. It's her day. And whoever the hell she want there, she got the right to have them people there. Y'all let me know in the comments whose side are y'all on with that. Are y'all on Melissa and her mama, Melissa's mama and her sister's side? Or are y'all on Teresa's side? Y'all let me know. Um, Let's see. Big Frank's guys night. So like I said, Big Paulie didn't show up because he had to go to work. And then Big Paulie let them know about that comment he made about how he shouldn't send a woman to do a man's job. And then he starts talking about how he does miss the relationship that he and D-Lo had. Listen, D-Lo, you really need to, for real, put something, okay, on Big Frank. And I don't understand how his girlfriend don't feel a way about it. Like, why haven't your girlfriend came and knocked you upside your head? Like, why you just walking in this lady house knowing she got a man? Why the hell is you over there anyway? Your children grown as fuck. It's not like y'all have anything to talk about with them. Like, I don't know what D-Lo and them got going on around there, but I'm going to mind my business because I live for D-Lo. I like Big Frank and I like Big Paulie. But I'm just saying, Big Frank, we not going to act like Paulie ain't got no... He can feel away if he want to, all right, because you moving whatever. So Louis comes while Joe talking ish about him because Bill comes and Bill being messy, you know, brings up he and Louis situation. And then Joe starts talking about how, he's so wrong and he's so this and he's so that and then he's a bitch and he's a pussy and I'ma let him know it when he get here and so and so. So in the middle of him talking about Louis shows up. So Joe asks him why his in-laws wasn't invited down to the wedding. And he said the reason why it hurt him like that is because it's an Italian thing. If you don't get invited to like certain things like that, it's like a FU to their face or whatever the case may be. And that's basically what he said. You not inviting them was like a slap in our face. So then Louis says it's been a whole bunch of slaps in everybody's faces, much like when they went on the podcast and tried to make it seem like they was the sole reason why them girls was great. Joe basically admitted that they did say what they said, but it wasn't meant in the way that Melissa said it. And my whole thing about it is no, Melissa said it. exactly the way she wanted to say it. And she meant every word of what she said. She felt like she wanted to prove a point and had to prove a point, and it came out the way exactly to what she said. It is what it is. Then you started going off on this man, trying to belittle this man and trying to chump him and trying to sun him and all the rest of this stuff. He just sitting there calm as a cucumber. You start beating on the damn table like a damn chimpanzee. He's still sitting down paying you dust. Once you realize that little scare tactic that you always try to do didn't phase him, he didn't give a shit. You finally decided to calm down, sit down, and y'all was able to talk like two men. And he was saying, listen, whatever Teresa's feelings is Teresa's feelings. It don't have nothing to do with me. Don't make it put all of that on me. You know what I'm saying? She was feeling this way before I started having my feelings about you. You know what I mean? And he was encouraging them to talk. Again, listen. Again, whose side are y'all on in this situation? Are y'all on Joe's side or are y'all on Louis' side? Don't get me wrong, my opinion. Do I feel like Louis do I feel like should Louis be trying to do steps to like try to get them to communicate or do whatever, blah blah blah? Yes, but that's not solely his responsibility to do. And even if he doesn't do that, he's on your wife's side, of course. Why would he not be? I mean, I'm just saying. Much like whenever y'all wives are in things, y'all are on your wife's side. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, it's like you're trying to put all of this burden on him, and it's like, nah, I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over this family thing between them already. Like it's nobody really wants to talk for real. Nobody really wants to put their feelings on the line. Like it's just in my opinion, this is all for TV. That's really what I'm starting to think. All of this is for TV. For real, all of them really could be in cahoots with each other. For all of them to stay on the show and have a damn storyline, in my opinion. All of them probably like best damn friends talking on the phone with each other, laughing and kikiing at the fact that y'all believing that this is really going on. Because at this point, I just don't care about it. I want everybody to have something new going on. Anyway, y'all drop down in the comments. Let me know what y'all thought about last night's episode, and let me know whose side y'all on. Are y'all on Joe's side or are y'all on Louis' side? And yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I ain't got no more to get y'all. I'm gone. I'm about to eat. Final. Bye.